My name is Joe. Here is Damien. He's going to be helping us with the training today. But you guys might be a little more interested of who this beautiful boy is, who just went in the little building right now, but don't worry, he's going to be out very soon, as you can see. Yes, this is Juno. So he is one of my favorite animals out here in the drive-thru. He's actually the oldest of our wolves, and he's one of the two types of wolves we have out here in the drive-thru. So he is an Arctic wolf, while we also do have tundra wolves, but he is an Arctic wolf, and he's in the pack by himself. So you can see he's a lot bigger than these guys over here because he's also the oldest. He is 13 years old, and that's very old for a wolf. Out in the wild, they live to about 5 or 6 years, but we're able to keep him alive and healthy because of all the vet work that he's able to do, and we're going to show you that throughout some of our training we're doing today. And all the training here at Bearizona is going to be voluntary and using positive reinforcement. So we're not going to force Juno to do any training that he doesn't want to do. We're not going to take away any of his daily food, but you can see he's very eager and very interested because he is our training superstar. All right, so this is the first training behavior you're seeing right now that Damien's doing. This is called a station behavior. And this is the basic part of training that we train with all of our wolves. And it helps us move on to more complicated behaviors. So what Damien's looking for is 2 paws on that little box and calm attentive behavior. Because when he gives us that calm attentive behavior, he's paying attention to just Damien, and we're able to teach him more complicated behaviors. And what you're seeing Damien do is you're going to see him holding up a fist. That's what's called a prompt, which lets our animal know that we're looking for a behavior. And then also you'll hear Damien say good when we get the behavior we're looking for. And that's a bridge, which lets him know that yes, he did do the behavior we're looking for. And then he gets a little roared, which is a meatball today. So as I said before, once he's mastered that one, he's able to move on to more complicated ones. This is an example of how we take care of our animals with the training that we do. So this is called ear medication training. So we're not doing it for reals today because you can see there's not a lot of flies out. But what will happen in the summer is there's a lot of biting flies who will come out, and they're going to want to get onto the tips of our ears of the wolves and try to get as much blood as they can. So to prevent that, what we do is we put a little white cream on the tip of that stick. Juno's going to stick his little nose out there, and then he lets us swipe that cream on his ears. So even though we're not doing it for real, what we will do in the summer and the winter is we keep on doing that behavior so that they're confident with it when the summer comes and we're actually putting that cream on their ears. And that cream is called Swat, so it's similar to like the spray, but it's just in a cream form. It smells like citronella to keep all those flies off. All right, we're gonna move on to one of my favorite training behaviors. This is called vaccination training. So, say Juno needs to get a vaccine or he needs to be sedated for a veterinary reason. So what our vet will do is he'll have a syringe on the tip of this pole, and it's not for real today, this is just for pretend. But what Juno's able to do, and a lot of our other wolves out here as well, Juno's able to line up on that bar right there, and then I'm gonna stick the pole in. Good, and he's gonna back that booty right up into the pole. And he's the best at it. He's actually goes really hard into the pole, which makes it a lot easier for us when we do vaccinations. Good. So he's putting a lot of pressure on there. And what's great about him is that he's able to do it all on his own, and he was actually able to sedate himself for his own neuter a couple years ago. So he woke up a little bit lighter that day. Good. And you're gonna notice I'm not gonna be jabbing it into him when I put it in there, because that's gonna decrease his trust in us. So all of training, it starts with the basis of trust. If our animal doesn't trust us, then we're not able to move forward with the training because they're gonna be scared, or they're not gonna know what's coming. So when we put that bar in there, he knows it's gonna be there and he's gonna back right up into it. So what we like to say at Bearizona is that if a wolf can do it, so can you guys. So next time you're at the doctor's, make sure to back your little booties up into there. You might get a little meatball too out of it. All right, so what you're gonna see Damien doing right now is he's gonna be shifting Juno over into his backyard area. So as I said earlier, he's the oldest of our wolves, and he's also the last member of his pack. So that means he's back here by himself. He's actually not all by himself. He does have a roommate named Cray. He is a black bear. You might see a little black blob out there in that backyard area, and that's his roommate. So when I first came here, I was very surprised too that a bear and a wolf can live together, but they can and they do. We just have to separate them off during feeding so they don't fight or anything. But yes, it is very hard sometimes to reintroduce and introduce one wolf into a new pack. So you can see these guys are a lot younger. This young tundra pack. They are 2 years old and Juno is 13. So if we were to introduce them, since they've seen each other for a while, I'm sure it wouldn't be too bad, but at the same time, we don't want to put strain on him. So if we were to introduce them to each other, they would probably be jumping on top of him and hurting those joints. So we don't want to do that. So we're just going to keep him with Trey back here. And you can see he does love doing the show. He is great at it.